Frederick going to be banned out? Is he going to be picked up? We'll find out exactly here. And what other adjustments does the Moskov go in the hands, once again, of Domeng for this Game 3? Only time will tell upon us, and also for Spider Miles.
That right there is a solid ban. You ban the Moskov so that you can use that ban instead of the Fredrin, and then see what happens.
Yeah, Moskov proven to be deadly here, obviously. Throughout, even in the games they lost, Moskov looked really good in the hands of Domeng.
Yeah, it's always a bomb waiting to hold up. Wait, instead of banning out the Fredrin, they're saying, you know what? What do you pick first? We're going to get the Harith. Your play.
Were we talking about the Harith on OHEB earlier? It's like, you know what? There's a low chance that he picked it up. No.
He's not very Harith reliant, actually.
Yeah.
Look at his gold lane heroes. You're looking at the likes of the Nathan. You're looking at the likes of a Carry and a Claude. And now suddenly, you know what? Maybe in the break, he started picking up the Harith reps. Yeah. And now you see the response here from MNNE EVOS, looking to recreate their Game 2 draft here with the Fredrin and the Novaria. And the Moskov is not yet banned out, so they might pick that up third pick here.
Okay. First, well, there it is. With the Harith, they're going to pair up here.
Shadows loom,
okay.
This early?
We're going to see that this early. The Carmilla pick.
Yo, I love this. I love this, to be honest. Obviously, it hasn't won yet, but you know what? We're looking for reps here. And obviously, it's been a very long break.
Yep.
Let's see what they came up with during that time.
And again, we don't know what this is going to be. A jungle Carmilla, which was previously shown in the regular season to very little success.
Yep.
And then it could also be a roam Carmilla, which has been making the rounds in the grapevine.
Hey, you know what's funny is I recently played the roam Carmilla, and it's interesting the way that it works. And when you look at this lineup already, the first two picks, it could be devastating if they're able to actually utilize the Carmilla for what it's worth. Now, across from them, we're already seeing the bans come out, of course, by both teams. We're down to the last one for the second phase. And the fact, too, that MNNE EVOS gets Domeng the Moskov again, and you have the Novaria here again, it could just already be a great recipe to success for this Game 3. Now, real quick, too, Lancey, he has 6.18 damage dealt per gold, the highest among all players in the league. And I remember it was Redmar during the regular season that talked about Lancey's impact and how much he's had as a mid laner throughout the regular season.
That's why I missed him so much in the last week of the regular season, is because
Horology is my craft.
He's packing heat.
Is my name.
He's got artillery in his hands. And with this Novaria, which I still think they're going to revert to a normal lineup unless they reveal that they won't. What else is left out there? They're going to keep it down to the wire, man. They're not going to reveal the fact that this might still be a Novaria in Miles' hands.
But that's amazing, right? Somehow, you know, MNNE developed a weapon they can use in the playoffs.
Yep.
Miles on a Novaria, man. That's pretty. I'm sure that threw a wrench in the cog of all the research all the teams have done throughout the break.
And they don't have to, because the Minotaur is still out there. So they can still go back to a normal lineup anyways.
Great flex. I love it.
Good flex available. Once again, Benedetta going to be picked up here for Blacklist International. And this lineup is looking a little weird for me. You know, I know we talked about the Carmilla here. We have seen OHEB perform on this Harith. You can see the stats right there. They're broken down here for that pick. But how do they round this out?
Power of light incarnate.
That is the Kaja that they're going to pull out here. I don't know. How are we feeling about the lineup from Blacklist?
It's very centric into like a single target. They're probably not going to deviate. They're going to deviate a little bit from what they're used to.
Yeah.
Just go wombo combo, all 5-man, all in one location. They can't do that. If they do that here, they actually will be in trouble a little bit.
It's pick off and then punish if there's backup. That's what Blacklist wants to do. And if I was MNNE EVOS, I would bum rush a Radiant Armor.
Yeah,
because look, the only real physical damage that they have is Benedetta.
That's what I was looking at.
On a Bunjinjing, and that's it.
Yeah, that's what I was looking at. There's a whole lot of magic damage here. And, of course, the Florin is picked up for Spider Miles here in their shade of the Ube. And so now, is that enough to deal with this?
I think so, yes, because that's how you answer the whole kill squad approach that Blacklist has. Again, it's not like they want to go all 5-man. It's more of 2- and 3-man killing coalitions, like ganking all around the map. And then what you have is the ultimate on the Florin, healing and nullifying that threat.
It looks really good right now. Obviously, with the swings that MNNE has done, they've proven that they can kind of pull off these kind of compositions that, you know, can kind of be flexed one way or another, and they got so much out of it. And yeah, Radiant Armor, 100%, right? I feel like, you know, it slowed down a little bit, but the damage is, you're still going to get maximum efficiency from it just because of the composition that Blacklist has.
Yeah, it's all magic.
All magic damage. Radiant Armor's going to be a huge pickup to go ahead and deal with that. And once again, as we look at the lineups here, we'll see exactly how it's executed on both sides as we jump into Land of Dawn once again for game number 3. It's 1-1 in the series. MNNE EVOS and Blacklist International fighting for the playoff lives here, of course. And remember, it's an endurance matchup. We could go 5 games, and whoever wins the series has to face off again later today, waiting for Fnatic Onic. And now already early aggression, of course, going on. Haji gets that vision available to him, but you know, dealing with the flooring here for Blacklist will be something they have to do.
That's a good delay. Haji forced Kaizen to take his time with that purple buff, which I think puts Sensui up by about 5-10 seconds. And that's a big deal when you're early jungling rotation, first run.
MNNE can just stick together a lot here in the early parts of the game and still be pretty much in a good shape, even with Haji here. Obviously, without the Divine Judgment, they should not do as much damage. Even though going to be slowed down just a little bit, but not anything. Right now, with the protection provided by Spider Miles, they can really just get work done.
All right, so with that too, again, we're going to have to see if this time around the success is going to be better for this jungle Carmilla in the hands of Sensui. I still think if you look at the way that the team fights are going to go, especially as we wait about 30 seconds for this turtle to come up, they could really work in favor of the way Carmilla works and deal with that. But MNNE EVO so far, this is something we've seen time and time again throughout the series. You know, this 3-4 members up here on that XP lane to go ahead and try to get this level 4 available. We know these ultimates are going to be crucial for them. So with that too, Spider Miles having this floor in, focusing Mark, mind you, as well, will help deal with this, dealing with some of that burst damage they should be able to throw out. So Turtle's now up. Both teams have the level 4s that they want available to them. Yue and Edward just getting it. But it looks like MNNE EVOS is going to go ahead and give the first objective up.
Now they are going to slow it down. Obviously, they can't engage just yet.
Doming!
Doming though! No, my goodness, that was perfectly executed by Haji. The game sense of this guy, knowing that the recall probably isn't going to be completed in time, gets a kill over the Blacklist.
Yep, there was nowhere Doming was going to go, honestly. His dash must have been on cooldown. He has a flicker, but they can reposition. Oh, what?
Oh my god, the return spear of destruction going in stonks. Going to be able to walk out of harm's way as well with a dash. Oh, I love this coming in from MNNE.
That's why.
Punchback.
It was premeditated. He knew that he was going to go for that. And I think Spider Miles played possum. Spider Miles played as if they were going to play defensively, but wait.
Oh, playing defensive doesn't work, especially if you have Edward going straight on your back. Now Kaizen definitely getting in trouble, not being able to use that gray health. Another kill for Blacklist. They seem to be upping tempo quite a lot here.
Yeah, just with a couple moves, they get themselves this lead now this early on, and they're going to punish. Like this MNNE EVOS lineup that they have, they're able to punish. They know too, anytime that Divine Judgment's available, they have to respect it. They have to be careful of it. So they're going to try to force them back a little bit further here too. You see once again Edward picking up that Sea Halberd. He's got it available to deal with Spider Miles, that sustainability. So you see this building up quickly already for Blacklist.
And look at that, 2,000 gold lead. What's that got for you? Yes, there was the clap back from Doming, but Ohib here with a Starlium Scythe already. So I think with just this one item, I think big team fights are abound.
100%.
They can go for pickoffs immediately.
He can even duel out Doming on this Moskov, right? Because of that.
Yeah.
100%.
And again, it's up to Doming to really just have this game. And it's funny because 3 games now, different battle spells, right? Inspire to the Purify to now he's got the Flicker available to try to maybe even avoid getting Divine Judgment. You know, that's one of the main things he has to do. So with this objective up again, Flicker from Haji.
Speaking of Divine Judgment, Lancey just has nowhere to go. If Haji chooses you, you will go down, especially with Sensui, Edward, and Yue close by.
There you go. 100% turtle take rate for Blacklist so far. And I'm curious. We haven't really seen much of a collapse from Tensui. He's just happy taking these objectives. Like, what's the game plan here once MNNE Evos start to fight back? Because look, Blacklist has free reign.
100%. Look at that. Sensui just happy to be there, basically,
Yeah.
right? He's like, I don't need to do much. I just have to be here,
He wants to-
have my HP good, have retry.
He wants to press his ult.
Yeah, if you just press the ult with this lineup that they have,
He's fine.
it's devastating in the clumped up thing they're going to be from MNNE Evos. Look at this top side as well.
Yeah, it's a 1v3 for Edward. Let's see if he can walk on out there, but no, it's Praise Wrath. Make sure that is not going to be possible. But it will be traded on the bottom at least for Blacklist, so at least a 1-for-1.
It's kind of what they have to do, right? From MNNE Evos, it's like we have to focus down, kind of bully Edward if he's left to his own. Because really, when we're talking about these team fights, it's tough. And, you know, dealing with that, it's a question of how fast can MNNE scale with this lineup that they have. Domeng obviously going to need a little time. They will get this turret in the top side down. We know that Lancey with this Novaria also has to build up and scale up. So, again, it's more so just dealing with the timer here. Vision's going to be available to them. They're going to hold down to this tier 1 the best they can. But look at that, Sensui just driving them off.
See, I'm just here, guys.
I'm here.
I'm here.
More than the question of how fast MNNE can scale up, it's also a question of how can they even do that? Because Blacklist, again, they are a kill squad lineup. They just send 2 or 3 dudes to any target from MNNE Evos, and they can usually secure that. How do you farm up? How do you give Domeng the space if you're always the threat of getting picked off? So now, MNNE Evos, much like in Game 2, I think they thought they could go for the same tempo, but Blacklist with this Kaja says, no sir, not like that. Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. And now with this 3K gold lead, I'll call it now 100% turtle take rate. MNNE are just looking at the late game now.
Yeah, especially now that Kaysen can't even go near with fear of a divine judgment.
And that's the presence, I would say, of any Kaja that is picked up. Flicker or not, as long as Divine Judgment is there, and MNNE Evos has to deal with it. And it's something that really when you approach the game, you don't want to be caught out with this lineup that they have. And even bottom side, look at this Domeng and Edward.
Oh no,
Edward, he's on the hunt here.
He
But
wants
of course, that's another 3 members that MNNE has to use. Make that 4 to take care of Edward. But Edward just surviving those crucial seconds while the rest of the team is up on top.
Abunjingjing died for this turret, and it's worth it because he took the attention and the focus of 5 members of MNNE to get there.
That's twice now, right? It was Edward's life for a turret.
Yep.
And that's those minor plays, those minor sacrifices that they make is what's opening up the map for them to work around with. And still, Blacklist International, they got themselves nearly a 3K gold lead to work with and multiple turrets. So their position for this Lord, when it does come up in about a minute, is exactly where they want to be with the lineup. Now, you did see Kaysen. He picked up the Radiant Armor. We'll see exactly how the items are falling into place here.
There it is. You're also looking at a photo from Spider Miles. Abunjingjing here, rocking the Hunter Strike and that. See Albert? Oh no! Again!
The hunt is on, and now it's going to be Edward who's being hunted down with a follow-up kill coming in from Lancey. Mission successful here for MNNE.
I gotta say, that was clean.
Could get a push happening here.
3rd time's a charm. Look at that. Oheb off camera. Kel 1 gets what he needed.
It's Edward again, though, for an exchange for an objective. And that keeps happening. So MNNE Evos, they're showing some signs of fight and hope in this to deal with the lead that they're working against, right, from Blacklist International. I'm just wondering if they're actually in a position, though, to dance toe-to-toe with the Lord dance that's going to happen here. Now that it's up, it's spawned. And really, Sensui, this is where it's like his time to shine with this Carmilla pick.
Yep.
Because so far, he's just been kind of up front, being like, hey, look at me.
He's just been there. That's all.
I'll tell you, Joseph, Carl, MNNE Evos cannot dance against
They can't
Blacklist.
dance?
If there was
dance.
if there was a chance that they were to show up here, it wouldn't be a dance. It would have to. There would have to be shenanigans involved,
Yeah.
right?
Shenanigans.
It would have to be a late entry Domeng, and then again, you're risking the fact of the Lord jumping you again, and there would have to be a deep back line penalty zone. So
obviously Sensui banking on everyone to collapse so he can get the perfect Curse of Blood
That's
from
right.
the Carmilla.
And he doesn't even want all of them. He wants like 3 or 4, 2 or 3 minimum.
And that's damage done already. And we're going to see if that's going to happen here. As we do see everyone just making sure there is space in between everyone.
Uh-oh.
Going on the other side of the map though, and now the collapse is happening for Blacklist. This time around, there is just no way for them to fight. Sensui securing that Lord as well.
Doming?
Space is being run down here by Doming. And now, Edward alongside Sensui. The crowd knows what's about to happen here.
He's got a flicker.
It's a question of who goes first, who pulls the trigger. Sensui with the backup here, and that's just, I don't know how to deal with that. If you were Doming, you would just, oh my goodness, flying up here with Haji as well. Flicker already used up. Doming trying his damn to stay alive, but it's no-go.
Oh man, Doming. He didn't have a choice.
An XP laner, a roamer doing that? Hell, maybe a stretch, a jungler? But that's a gold laner that bought what? A good 5 to 10 seconds of time across the map from his teammates to defend. And now MNNE EVOS see a big old Lord knocking on their door.
Waves are cleared, but the Lord is still up on top side. Down goes the Eternal Guard. Kazens are quite low here. Sensui still falling. Kazens the Brace Rat gets some HP back, but looks like Turtle Lord rather is going to be going straight for that tower. Oh, Spear of Destruction can be triggered, but Doming decides to go the safe route. They go for the clean defense.
Did you see that? Did you see the Carmilla ult in work there for that fight? It forced even the flicker from Spider Miles to deal with. So that is a preview of base defenses from MNNE EVOS.
And it's not even a matter of itemization or the fact that it's all magic. Damage is damage.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter. You can only reduce it and heal it away for so long. And now Blacklist, 5k ahead, clearly rocked MNNE EVOS to their core. They penetrated top lane, and now that's permanent damage that MNNE EVOS have to tend to. And across the map, something to note here, you only can hope for a clutch SOD or a clutch DPZ because those are ults that Blacklist see coming from a mile away. You have to know that Edward is never where you think he is.
That's the tough thing to deal with. Edward has done a lot, actually, for the way that things have unfolded. Again, with his life for a lot of this to get the space to work with around this map. And now that you find yourselves at this position, if you're MNNE EVOS, you don't want to always have to rely on Doming to do that, right? But the pressure that he can put on the side lane is great.
Yep.
But if he ends up getting collapsed on, sandwiched in, what have you, he needs to be there for the fights, of course, right? Especially as we get further on. So you want to be able to protect Doming at this point in the game and allow him to pump out the damage that you need to see from the Mozgov. Since we're going to find Kazin here, though.
Finally a fight being committed by MNNE, or at least, figured out here by Kazin. I don't know if they really want to fight this or not. Maybe they're trying to gauge whether or not they can actually take Sensui right now on this Carmilla, and you know what? The signal's been given. This Carmilla is way too tough.
You want me to drop some nuggets of wisdom on y'all?
Drop the nuggets of
Drop
knowledge.
Dropping. You know who protects Doming best?
Who?
Doming. Doming protects Doming best. His positioning is going to be key in these big engagements, and if by some chance he dodges the Curse of Blood AoE, then it's fine. Kirk's down.
Down goes the penalty zone, and Kirk and Pinky's already done
Goes
his job.
in.
As here comes Doming. He disappeared! Where'd he go? He disappeared!
What?
Doming's gone! I need a replay of that. I swear that I need the slow-mo because the
popped
moment
him.
he landed,
They popped him.
he got popped like a pimple.
He didn't protect himself, Leo!
He's somewhere in the astral zone.
He's somewhere out there.
Oh my goodness! You know, at that point I was like, all right, he kind of has to go in.
He's coming in.
But
Where
then
is
he was gone.
Yeah, because again, I told y'all, the best person to protect Doming is Doming.
So
He just
don't
didn't
throw
do
the
it that
spear.
time. He didn't do it that time.
I jinxed it.
What you meant is don't click the spear.
Yes.
And I guess
In the middle of a fight.
there was some level of frustration there. I mean, MNNE was like, you know what? We need to deal the damage. It's now or never. And now they're staring down the barrel of a loaded gun. Blacklist might just end it here now.
This is going to be tough for MNNE EVOS once again, dealing with the Lord. will be able to make quick work of it, but now the next wave is going to be pushing in here.
Oh.
Blacklist wants these next 2 turrets.
Okay.
Kaizen goes in.
Yep, Ohead this time around with the HP bars getting demolished this time around by Kaizen. And now the fight is being given to them by MNNE, who seems so confident now. Up on front is Kirk, obviously doing the work.
Wow.
Since Sui not even lasting a few seconds in the front of his spear.
Oheb also, just as quickly as Doming disappeared, got clapped by a single Appraiser's Wrath.
Bang, bang.
Whew. MNNE Evo striking back. Just when we thought Domeng got deleted, quickly the gold lead and the space advantage that Blacklist had is now getting deleted across the map as they make their way down the mid lane here. A couple shots happening, but MNNE Evo wants more.
They can get turned around so quickly. Haji all alone. Same with Edward. Can't even survive the onslaught of spears being thrown down by Domeng this time around.
That was a tasty DPZ, a delayed penalty zone. You saw how Kirk was actually holding the ult and waiting for that tail end of the dash on Edward until he dropped it and killed him. Amazing read. Again, the game IQ on this young man, Kirk, who is a pseudo-rookie from MNNE EVOS. Previously played for RSGPH, didn't really see much field action, and now he's where he belongs. And he's, what, ahead? Oh, no, he's still behind Benedetta. He's still behind Edward, but the way he's playing, it's as if that gap never existed. It's as if MNNE EVOS isn't even behind 1,000 gold.
Yeah, that's Kirk doing his job, essentially, right? I mean, he's not going to be ahead in gold. Vendetta, so mobile, goes around the map, gets all the gold sources. But compared to other Terizla players probably right now in his shoes, he's doing a damn good job.
Gentlemen, check this out. The whole early to mid game for Sensui being rather, again, I'm going to use the B word, boring.
Yeah.
The B word.
Led him to not gaining much gold. See that Kaizen is farming up more, and this is a losing team. They were behind for a majority of the game, and still he was farming up more.
And with all that's happened, they pretty much diminished the gold lead. I mean, it's 1,000, but again, they had, what, 5,000 plus gold for Blacklist International?
Now it's negligible.
Yeah.
Yeah, they don't care because Doming's in a position now that they want him to be.
Impressive how they have rubber banded themselves into a late game position where all of the struggles in the early game are left null and void. Amazing. Now this is a fair dance. I would say this is a 50-50 Lord dance. This is a good contest.
For sure.
50-50 here. Both junglers having the immortalities available too.
Will Doming save himself?
Doming, again, going back to it. And look at Haji's positioning, waiting to use that flicker, Divine Judgment. Kaizen going to be the focus though.
That's so far back. Down goes to Zaman Force. And MNNE seem to be quite willing to take it. They're taking down some bodies here. Kaizen, Immortality already popped here. And the flicker committed, making sure that MNNE does not have the retribution. It seems like Blacklist just wanted the Lord after all.
All right, that's a little bit of too much protection from Doming. He's literally skedaddled out of there. Oh, wait.
Wait.
Protect yourself, Doming.
Could pull the trigger.
Yep.
There you go.
He overprotected himself. he excised himself from the team fight. And I think that's what Blacklist read. They read the map so well and said, you know what? We saw Doming down bottom, collapse.
Very important now as they get ready for this next assault. MNNE EVOS finds themselves on the defense. They still, once again, have great clear with this Mozcom and the rest of the lineup here. Kaizen will come up for this defense. But this time around, expect Haji. Doesn't have the flicker, but he's got the Divine Judgment available. We'll see if they can hold on to this game any longer. The turrets are going to be taken out already.
All right, Lord's pushed up on top. We're still looking for who Haji chooses as the Divine Judgment target. Down goes the Spear of Destiny. Can't be used anymore, maybe on a split. Here comes the Sound Force for Oheb. Down goes Springtrap. Good damage in. But look at the Eternal Guard. Instant punch back coming in from Blacklist.
Man, again, MNNE EVOS going to hold on, and they hold on to one turret. Woo!
And they're able to do that at the cost of just Kirk. Folks, well, let me remind you, there was a Lord inside the base. And MNNE EVOS had to both fight that fight, protect their base, and keep themselves safe.
Oh, they might lose it here.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, we'll see though, as the turret does go down.
Their base.
Doming dashed in already. I think that is the signal for Blacklist to go here.
Kaizen.
Eternal Guard once more into the right targets. 2 down, and the base all alone, but minions are nowhere to be found.
Oh, Doming taken out. They're going to bob and weave.
They're bobbing and weaving. Inspired Mouse buy some time here to get that minion back on track, but Oheb takes him down as well. And all the minion bodies exploding because of the Vexana passive here. It does seem like the minions are going to be here in time. And another Zaman Force on the floor. Kurt with a last minute penalty zone to try to clear that wave. And it is Blacklist on top 2-1.
The Champions Arena erupts as now Blacklist International hits match point in this series against MNNE EVOS. It's 2-1.
Game 2, MNNE EVOS brings out the Novaria Rome. Game 3, Blacklist brings out the Carmilla Jungle, getting its first dub in
Finally.
Season 13.
About time.
And to be fair, its threat really only reared its ugly head towards that last 5 minutes of the game, right?
Yeah.
Wherein, even inside their own base, MNNE EVOS was uncomfortable to pick fights. So now, we're at match point, just one more game.
Whew. It's, again, looking at the lineup, if we rewind a little bit and go back to the draft, some people might have been scratching their head, even with the Carmilla pick, and a whole lot of magic damage. But man, did they control the majority of that game with that lineup that they had, so they figured something out. It worked for them, and again, the presence, I think what really paired that up, and I can't wait to hear this breaking down, was the Kaja pick from Haji. So I can't wait. Let's go ahead and break this down even further with Renmar and Coach Pao once again on the analyst stand.
All right, Blacklist International takes game number 3. At katulad ng mga sinabi ng crowd natin dito sa Champions Arena, isa na lang at mag-a-advance ang Blacklist International. Sino nga ba ang the one para sa Blacklist? Sensui! The Zen Master on the Carmilla. And pag-usapan natin ang Carmilla pickup ng Blacklist International in the jungle. The biggest utility of the Carmilla, yes, mahirap siya patayin dahil sa ability niya. The first skill, yung mga Rosas, umiikot sa kanya kung saan kinukuha niya yung magic and physical defense ng mga kalaban niya, and then at the same time, nakaka-lifesteal while dealing damage. And then, of course, yung ultimate ng isang Carmilla kung saan 50% of the damage 50% of the damage dealt by your team dun sa mga targets na namarkahan niya, mabibigay sa kung sino man ang masakop sa ultimate ng isang Carmilla. So, damage will get split. Kaya nakita natin for Blacklist International, their priorities in this draft were 3 heroes na kung makuha nila yung magandang early game will snowball in a devastating fashion. The Harith, the Vexana, and of course, the Carmilla. Because Carmilla likes being paired up with heroes na nagbibigay ng burst damage. Kasi kung mahuli mo yung mga kalaban mo, sabihin natin 3, 4, that's more damage instantly dealt across everyone who got caught. Speaking of getting caught though, we could see that in that highlight, we have to comment, of course, Lancy in the Novaria. Now, MNNE EVOS, nakita naman natin yung pag-adjustment with the Carmilla pick-up. They picked up 2 heroes na sobrang mag-backline lang. Ayaw nila masyado lumapit sa laban, so that means that's less heroes getting damaged by the Carmilla split. Pero, even if you have a frontline that has the Fredrin, has the Terizla, na nakita natin gumana naman talaga sa early game, pag nakapag-snowball ang isang Harith, one of the picks that really changed the meta after the biggest patch, the big patch that we had midway through the season, mahirap talaga makakomeback sa scenario na yon. At nakita natin isa sa mga key plays ay yung pag-frontline bigla ni Oheb to surprise MNNE EVOS, and Blacklist International were able to fight. But Sensui was the MVP of the game here kasi nakita naman talaga yung pag-maximize ng ultimate ng Carmilla. And this is a lot of pressure for one Carmilla because with the Kaja as your roamer, pick-off type yung roamer ng Blacklist International. So hindi naman masyado magfa-frontline si Haji ganun katagal. Siguro maglapag ng skill, get the pick-off with the Divine Judgment, then magbaback na siya, maybe to provide a little peel for the backline kung madelix yung backline. Yung frontliners dito ng Blacklist International would be the Benedetta of Edward, yung technically, pwede mo nangalagay doon yung ultimate ni Vexana kasi parang 6 member na yun para sa Blacklist. And of course, the Carmilla as well. So, again, Sensui really one of the best examples of the utility jungler in terms of frontline ka, tank ka. Yes, trabaho mo rin mag-retry and in the late game, kung hindi mo matamaan yung retry mo, di kawawa naman tayo. A lot of pressure put into the shoulders of Sensui. MVP performance still is what he got. Looking at the items here, of course, a popular build for the Kajas of the world. Dominance Ice into the fleeting time para mahabol mo na talaga kagad yung ultimate niya as your lineup plays around the ultimate of the Kaja. And because of that, Blacklist International played around their gold lane, making sure that OHEB can farm up really quickly. Looking back at the lineup of MNNE EVOS, other than sabihin natin yung Moskov ng MNNE EVOS, there's not really a hero that stands out as something that can give the Harith a hard time. Yung Harith nga ni OHEB may Purify, so sabihin natin kahit mahuli siya sa mga crowd control nila, KZen, Kirk, Spider-Mouse, any other crowd control from the side of MNNE EVOS, it'll be really difficult. At nakita naman natin yan sa damage dealt, 101.5 thousand damage dealt by that Harith, paired up with the Vexana, and of course the ultimate getting dished out by the Carmilla. Yung mga damage na nadideal ng isang Harith will get split amongst the members of MNNE EVOS. Nakita naman natin with MNNE EVOS, they showed one of their bright spots here is magaling din naman sila magbasa ng mapa at maghanap ng trades. Yun yung best quality for MNNE EVOS, I would say. Other than katulad ng sinabi ni Coach Paolo Expert kanina with their ability to trade or poke and magaling sila mag-team fight, is that if ever kahit natatalo sila, nagko-commit sila ng isang play sa ibang parte ng mapa para makakuha sila ng konting bawi. Whether it's going to be a split push, whether it's going to be a single kill. At siguro nga dahil mas nakita natin yung Moskov pickup, that's what MNNE EVOS is prioritizing in this game. But no matter how good you are, with splitting the map, with opening up avenues against a snowball Harith, ang hirap talaga. So, a question for the Champions Arena. Will game number... Anong game na ba ulit? Game number 4, right? Game number 4? Tama? Anong game na ulit? Okay. Will game number 4 go to Blacklist? A Blacklist heavy crowd. Will game number 4 go to MNNE EVOS? And you still hear the Tigers roar. Will a journey end here or will it continue to a game number 5? The question will be answered. Casters, paso.